Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and this is my review of Captain America Civil War. And this one takes place after the events, of course, of Age of Ultron. The plot very loosely follows the Civil War comics, and it's more about the reveal of Bucky Barnes being Winter Soldier being found again, and certain events take place after a mission that Cap and his team puts down that inadvertently causes certain things to happen, and the government thinks that they should be registered, that they should be controlled. Iron Man agrees, Captain America doesn't. Civil War ensues, so to speak. Civil War is actually one of my all-time favorite story arcs in the Marvel Universe. And when I read it, for me, it was clear cut that Cap was right. I thought Iron Man was being kind of douchey. I thought it was easier for him because he revealed himself since day one, like in the movies. And I kind of agree that if you have a superhero, you have a secret identity, you should not be forced to reveal that identity to the world, especially to the government. I mean, who trusts their government? So this movie, what can I say? It was fantastic, honestly. It was a lot of fun. It's adrenaline pumping. It's action. They really don't slow down at all. And what Marvel has managed to do so well is take something that could be this heavy. I mean, when you think about it, the topic is very similar to what they were discussing in Batman v Superman, which is the consequences of the actions of these superheroes. You basically have nuclear weapons that running around that could fly and run really fast, and they are weapons. And what happens to weapons that have no control mechanisms in place? So there will be consequences. People do get hurt. We saw it with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. They were fighting for revenge because of one of Stark's weapons that had exploded and killed their family, and they thought they would die. So these things happen whether or not the heroes plan for them to happen. And in Batman v Superman, that was the topic of discussion as well. Should this this superpowered being, be able to do whatever he wants whenever he wants? You know, what is the repercussion? What Marvel does better is Marvel finds a way to bring that across without making you feel depressed, without the entire movie being this dark, somber, dreary thing. This movie is fun. This movie is action-packed. They balance the wit and the comedy so well with the drama and the action. And these guys, I mean, they have been playing off each other for years now with these movies. They know each other so well. You feel that camaraderie, so you believe it, and you feel torn to see them fight with each other, because, you know, as cool as it is to see them fight, you don't want them to turn on each other. I think the action here was really well shot. My absolute favorite sequences being the chase between Bucky, Black Panther, who we'll get to, Captain America, and the police. I thought it was fantastically well done. It actually reminded me of the Jason Bourne movie. I think the first one, that car chase. There's something about it, the way it's done, that reminded me of that scene. And I really loved it. We also have in this movie, with the well, we have everybody actually. Everybody's here with the exception of Nick Fury, Thor, and Hulk. And I don't see Maria Hill, so not everybody, but most everybody's here. And what we also have is, I was really happy to see Ant-Man is here. We have, of course, Black Panther is introduced, and we have the introduction of Spider-Man. And I'm very happy to say that the young Tom Holland, he's virtually unknown to us, does a wonderful job as Peter Parker. I think Spider-Man fans are going to get a real kick out of this kid. His banter while he was fighting was so on point. The inflection of his voice, well, the Spider-Man suit, I liked it a lot. I don't know if everybody's gonna like it. I have heard some people say they think that the spider is too small, but I quite liked it. I really like this suit. And that's another thing I love about the Marvel movies, is that they actually have color in their outfits, unlike the X-Men movies that they always dress them in all black. I love to see them. They're superheroes. They're colorful superheroes. Put them in colorful suits. You know, so I loved everything about it. Black Panther, oh my god. We were crushing on him so hard. I'm sure it had some guys probably had some man crush there too. The suit was fantastic. The design was so gorgeous, so sleek, very Daredevil-like, but very much his own suit. I thought it was wonderful. Chadwick Boseman on point as Black Panther. I cannot wait to see the Black Panther movie. I think it's gonna be awesome. Um, we have well, we have more Scarlet Witch in this, and we also we got Paul Rudd as Ant-Man in this as well. He had also my second favorite sequence where we get to see him be Ant-Man. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. He stole every scene he was in. Paul Rudd is just wonderful. I love him in everything. So I was really, really, really happy to see how well this movie came off. Now, I don't think it's the best Captain America movie out there. I think that still goes to Winter Soldier. I happen to think Winter Soldier is a flawless movie. I loved everything about that movie. And I think what they did here is they went a little bit in a different direction. Winter Soldier is very much an espionage movie with a superhero in it. This one, you have more, it's definitely more action-oriented movie. But nevertheless, it is a very good movie. Marvel has nothing to be ashamed of. They've managed to do it again. And it's one of those movies I'm going to have to see a second time to really, really see everything. These movies, you never get everything in one sitting. The villain of the movie, I have to say, is the most disappointing part for me. Not that Daniel Brühl is a bad actor. He does well with what he has, but he doesn't really make an impact. I don't know if it's because he's not really one of those larger than life villains like Loki. They played him here very, very much an ordinary human being. And while, you know, I understood his story, it was a story very similar to Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver's story. By the way, here he's playing Baron Helmut Zemo. That is a character that is very much a Captain America villain. But here, I don't know, it didn't work for me. He was more like a plot device than a villain to move things forward. And he didn't make any real impact. You know, Malekith the Dark Elf had more screen presence than this guy. And again, it's not Daniel Brühl's fault. I think he did well with the material. I just think something about the way that they used him, anybody could have been in that role, and it didn't have to be Baron Zemo, and you wouldn't know the difference, honestly. So unfortunately, the villain here is the absolute weakest point of this movie for me. Everything else I thought worked really well. Like I said, you have some wonderful action sequences. I will say another bit of a negative. I don't know how fans will feel about this. Like I said, they are inspired by Civil War. They didn't actually follow Civil War, and I have no issue with that. My real issue is that there's no consequence to anything that happened in this movie. I don't want to go into too much detail, but when I say no consequence, think of it this way. Have you ever really read a comic book in recent times where a hero dies and you think, okay, well, that's it, they're dead and they're never coming back? That's kind of what I'm talking about here. Even though they are battling each other, we know these guys are not going to hurt each other. They even kind of say stuff like that when they're fighting. So when we thought, or when it's done in this way, like if, okay, somebody's going to die and there's no consequence to that, it's really hard to get super invested when you don't think anything bad is ever going to happen to them. Even how this movie ends, what goes down between Cap and Iron Man, no consequences. No consequences to anything that came before. And I think that was a cop-out on the parts of the creators. I think I know why they did it. They did it so that they could keep these characters in the movies for as long as possible. But I'm sorry they didn't have the cojones to maybe step over the line a bit and give us something a little more shocking, give us something to feel, give us something that we may not have been like, we would have been like, whoa, can't believe they did it. So I was bracing for that and it never happened, and that was disappointing to me. But otherwise, Civil War is a wonderful addition to the Marvel Universe. I think they did a fantastic job. It's definitely worth seeing more than once, and I'm going to give it a strong 7.5 out of 10. Okay, guys, till next time. Bye bye.